It's that time of the year again. I'm so ready for spooky stuff like horror movies and cavities, but maybe not so ready for the horrors of sexism and racism.
Hey, what is up people, and welcome to a spooky edition of Charming Man 93 does his usual response videos. And now, excuse me while this thing itches me. I am in costume, and this is the Halloween special, as I said before. And who better than to do a Halloween special on than Miss Laci Green? Or is she a Miss or a Mrs.? I could never tell. So, for those of you wondering who I am, before I actually even tell her things, before I even talk about that shit that she just said, you want to know who I am? I'll tell you who I am. Rick Sanchez, Rickety Rick, son. Get swifty. No? Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Laci, you. Oh, what could possibly be so sexist about Halloween, Laci? Well, people, we'll find out. Stay brainless.
Well, hey, Laci here. Halloween is a ton of fun, and thanks to the internet, it's also become a bit of a show showcase. Like, wow, look at all the ignorant and insensitive people in America.
Okay, Laci, I don't quite get where you're going. I don't know how the internet has now led to Halloween being shit, and I don't know why Halloween is shit because of the internet, and how this comes into all the sexism and shit that you talked about before, but oh well, we'll let you explain.
Yay! Now, I'm always trying to be a little less than I was yesterday, which I often fail at, but if you're trying to too, here are some things that we can do during Halloween time.
I didn't even know what you just said then, Laci. That didn't make even a whole lot of sense. What, were you feeling shitty yesterday? Is this why you're doing this video? Because you felt shitty and you want to feel better by basically killjoying everyone? Is that what you want to do to us? I don't get it, Laci.
Idea number 1, say bye-bye to slut-shame.
Of course. It had to be slut-shaming, didn't it? Well, no use ranting just yet. Let's just see where she goes.
Sexy Halloween costumes actually became a thing after the sexual revolution. The whole idea behind them was that women have a right to our own sexuality and self-expression. For our generation, Mean Girls definitely solidified the concept of a slutty Halloween costume.
No, actually, it's just dressing up really sluttily because they can to attract guys or to feel good about themselves for a laugh. Even. It's got nothing to do with the sexual revolution per se, and it certainly has nothing to do with Mean Girls. I mean, people were dressing up slutty at Halloween long before Mean Girls. I mean, hell, even I dress up like a gigolo. I get in my suit sometimes and say, hey ladies, looking good, aren't you? Don't I look smashing? But it's got nothing to do with that. And I've not seen anyone slut shame anyone on Halloween except for feminists. All they ever do is say, oh, we can't have that costume because it's called anorexia. Oh no, it's too revealing. Oh no. Oh, how dare these people sell these products to these children and these young girls. Oh, I don't see normal people complaining about this shit at all.
But showing skin doesn't mean someone's any less of a human being or any less entitled to basic human decency and respect.
Put down the straw man, Laci, for 1 minute. I have not heard anyone say that just because a woman shows a bit of skin that she is no less of a human. That she's a less human being than I am. A lesser human being than some woman who dresses nice and modestly and wears tights every day. I've never heard that. I don't understand where that comes from. I've heard nobody say that. Why would anybody, especially guys, when we're going out to a Halloween party like I am tomorrow, why would we complain about this? Why would we see these girls as anything other than less human? We would see them as like amazing because, oh my good lord, they look amazing. Hell yeah, that's sexy. That's something to brighten up our night, because who knows, maybe the night's going shit and then someone walks in and they're like, wow, turning heads and shit. Isn't that a good thing? I think most people consider that a good thing. I mean, you have to look for the crazy misogynistic religious people to even come close to someone who thinks like that. And they're a crazy like minority of people. But, oh well, Laci Green thinks it's all the normal people.
If you want to talk scary, slut-shaming is often the first mental step someone takes toward justifying acts of sexual violation on Halloween night.
Holy shit! Where did you get that from? How do we get from not liking a girl who's scantily clad, just because she's scantily clad, not because of her personality or anything, but you just don't, this person doesn't like to see women in revealing clothes, so all of a sudden they're now a rapist? How the hell did you get from A to B? That doesn't make any sense. How the hell is that even a stepping stone to becoming a rapist? Citation needed.
So let's go ahead and leave that crap in the past.
Thank fuck. I was about to die of like stupid.
Idea number 2, why settle for sexy? On the flip side of the coin, there's something weird about the fact that the female versions of costumes are always sexualized versions, even for little kids. There's fire.
That girl's devil dress up was not sexualized. It was tight, but that's because it's made out of latex, Laci, not because they want it to be sexy. They certainly want it to be cute. I mean, all kids want to look cute. I don't know. Or people want their children to look cute in their Halloween get-up as they go trick-or-treating. You know, maybe women's costumes are mostly sexy, or at least those ones are mostly sexy. It's because women want them to be sexy. They want to look sexy on Halloween. Maybe that's just the demand. Maybe that's the thing right now in our culture, that women want to dress up sexily at Halloween. It's the one time of the year, aside from maybe the odd fancy dress party, where women can dress sluttily and not, you know, be judged for it. But here you are judging them on the one day they don't get to be judged for it. It's celebrated even by normal people. And you know, it's supply meets demand, Laci. It's basic capitalism. The women want it, therefore they get it. And men, and I know what you're doing here, but men are the opposite. But let's hear you make this point about men's costumes.
Firefighter and then sexy firefighter. There's pizza rat and then a sexy pizza rat.
There's nothing stopping a woman from buying a fireman's outfit that isn't sexualized. That's for women in their sizes. There's nothing stopping them, but most of them choose not to. They choose to wear sexy firefighter. And that rat thing just kind of defeated your point, because there were both women models in those costumes. So women don't have to wear the sexy rat outfit. They can just wear the normal pizza rat outfit. Laci, if you're going to make a point, at least do it right.
Well, pizza rat's always sexy, but you get the idea. If you want to get sexy, that's awesome. But it shouldn't be the only option for costumes based on your sex, and certainly not imposed on little girls.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Laci, stop trying to tell people what they can and cannot dress like at Halloween. Why are feminists always trying to tell people, especially women, what they can and cannot do? Aren't we supposed to just let women do what they want? To be free, to do what they want to do, to have a good time, to get loaded, to quote the song. Do you not... You seem to be lost on that point, you guys, nowadays. Instead, you just tell them what they can do. You know, don't wear this, don't wear that, don't let your kid wear that. Yeah, you know, sexualized costumes for kids, it's kind of creepy. It's not something I would give my kid. You know, maybe until they're like older, but even then it would be kind of awkward. But, oh well, parents are always awkwarded out by that kind of shit. Yes, I just made the word up. But you're not once giving me any, like, evidence that little kids are being given sexualized costumes. If anything, it seems to be in your head they are sexualized, because all you do is ever think about sex. It's like this, you're literally what Sparks sang about.
When we have a choice over how our sexuality will be presented, we draw the line between sexual subjectification and sexual objectification.
Oh boy, this ought to be good. Laci Green knows what objectification and subjectification is. Laci, You have a record of not knowing what that shit even means.
As more people speak up and talk about this, companies have actually started to crank out more costume options, so keep on Rabble Rouser.
Seriously, is this what feminism is now? Just complaining about dumb shit that nobody complains about. We need more costumes! We want more costumes. When do we want it? Now! Seriously? You already have that option. You have always had the option to go non-slutty or slutty. It's never not been slutty or nothing, Laci. Stop lying. Why do you have to make shit up? Oh, this doesn't make sense. None of this even proves your point. In fact, I think you've kind of lost your point somewhere along the way. I'm surprised. You only had 3 minutes. Well done, Laci. You've outdone yourself.
Idea number 3, maybe don't do blackface.
What? Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell.
You can still totally dress up as Crazy Eyes or Olivia Pope, just without the face paint.
I'm sorry, Laci, but that's ridiculous. That's like saying, oh, you can dress up as a clown, but you can't have the face paint. That doesn't make sense. I mean, what, does that apply to black people who dress up in whiteface? Is whiteface bad? Because these girls could dress up as those actresses, yet they just look like white girls in dresses, Laci. I know blackface and whiteface are terrible things, at least symbolically. On their own, they're kind of just, face paint like any other face paint. But seeing it through an American lens, Mitch is law, people.
Dressing up in blackface has a long and ugly history. It started as part of minstrel shows which used caricatures of black folks for comedy. The joke, lol, black people, aren't they so stupid? Many people who do blackface are explicitly calling on racial stereotypes as part of their costume.
A lot of black minstrel shows were like that. No wait, sorry. A lot of minstrel shows did have those elements. Quite a lot of them did. A lot of it was to do with that. But there was also another element, and I think that picture of that man dressed as the sharecropper, I think that's Al Jolson. He's the complete opposite of that. He did it because he needed to find some way of expressing himself, and also he really admired the black music that he sung and the black people that he knew, and he did it for them, to help, spread the word about the plight that they're in. He did a lot for civil rights. That has kind of gone unnoticed because, we only see the blackface and not the man behind it. So, there's 2 sides to every story, Laci. There's the horrible side, which is the racism, and then there's the good side, that is people like Al Jolson who did it. Because people back then in the 20s and the 1800s, they didn't want black people on their massive theatres singing to them. They wanted white people to do it because attitudes were different back then. People were more racist. That does not mean the blackface itself shouldn't be used. I mean, without blackface, Robert Downey Jr. would not have looked so hilarious in Tropic Thunder. There is a modern use of blackface. Although it's more brown, but because it's a more realistic thing, he's meant to look like he's had a tinting operation. But still, that shows you can do it right. But never mind, nuance and facts. This is feminism.
It's a type of mockery that targets people based on their skin color.
As I said before, a lot of it, but not all of it.
Even if disrespect isn't the intent, that doesn't change the impact. Blackface effectively reduces black identity to a costume.
Well, then the impact is not the person's wearing it's fault. It's the person perceiving it. That's who's at fault. If they're getting offended, they're getting offended. Offence is not given, it's taken. And what about whiteface, Laci? You neglect to mention that. That's also racist in a way. I mean, would you really fault the Wayans for making white chicks? No, you wouldn't. Because you're a hypocrite.
Modern day racial inequalities aren't something that people of color can take off at the end of the day.
Laci, you just sounded ridiculous there. You just said their skin colour wasn't inequality. Their skin colour is not an inequality. They have inequality because people judge that based on the colour of their skin. God damn it, Laci, you idiot.
They're a daily reality. Idea number 4, just like races aren't costumes, neither are cultures.
Is it me or are these people kind of confused as to what clothes are? Cultures are not clothes. Cultures create clothes. Therefore, people can wear these clothes. I know exactly where you're going, Laci. Just like how we can create makeup that can give you a different skin tone, we can make clothes. They can make you look like you're part of a different culture or taking part in one. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's see what you have to say.
Costumes like geisha or Indian rely on degrading racial and cultural stereotypes.
No, they don't, considering that they do dress like that. Geishas did dress like that. And there were white geishas too, by the way, because some European people did settle in Japan for at least a couple of years. I'd say a couple of decades to a century, they were there trading with the Japanese, and thus, as was a common practice at those times, people tended to dress the same way the natives would dress, as a custom, as for respect. So an Arab would probably dress as a European in a suit or something when he's visiting Europe. Likewise, a white person would dress in their clothes. It's respect. And also it might help with terrain. Also, if you're at a tea party with a daimyo, which you would know what a daimyo is, would you? It's a Japanese clan leader, a warlord. Although they don't necessarily have to be a warlord. But a lot of them were anyway, but that's besides the point. If you're invited to a party with him, a tea drinking party, which, or just a meeting, you'd want to dress in a great kimono, whatever the male equivalent is, as a sign of respect, to look good, to impress him. Surely. And that's what the Japanese are still like today. They like seeing people dress like Japanese people because it sees that they are enjoying their culture and it means that people are having fun. That's what they like. Likewise, I'm sure there are some Native Americans who don't mind this either. They just see it as, well, they're just wearing clothes. They're just wearing clothes that I wear sometimes, but not all the time. I mean, they wear our clothes. They wear plaid shirts and lab coats if they happen to be a scientist. Are they not appropriating our culture? Well, your culture. You're American, I'm British. But, are they not appropriating your culture? This is why this cultural appropriation bullshit is stupid. These costumes are not minding degrading social stereotypes. They're only degrading because you say they are. Because you social justice warriors are saying that they're degrading. Nobody else is saying they're degrading. They're just clothes. To a Japanese person and a Native American, they're just clothes that people wear. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just dress up. It's ridiculous.
It also further normalizes white America's tendency to disrespect and mock cultures that are different from our own.
I'm sorry, but that was a degrading racial stereotype to your own fucking race, Laci. You just said that white American culture degrades and mocks other cultures. Not only did you not bring any evidence or even attempt to, elaborate on this, you're just plain wrong. Citation needed on that. That was racist. But you're white, so you can get away with it. Ironically enough.
The implication is that white culture is normal and superior.
What? How? Where? How did you come up with that? How can you say that with such a grin, shit-eating face? How? Citation needed once again, you fuckwit.
Now, America's lack of cultural competency is nothing to brag about, least of all with a tacky costume. There are a million costume possibilities, and I think we'd all do better at tapping into our creativity instead of recycled toxic garbage.
No, Laci, I think what you mean is only buy and make these costumes that I and social justice approves of. Because everything else is problematic. Halloween is problematic, according to the gospel of Laci Green.
Alright babes, do you have more tips to share them down below and keep it spooky out there? But not too spooky. This also marks the end of season 3. What? It's been an entire year.
Thank fuck.
Thanks for joining me for the ride. There's a bunch of other episodes to watch if you need your fix while we're on break. And until then, stay braless.
Alright, that's the spooky end to the Halloween special. And well, all I can say to that is Halloween is problematic. Halloween is bad no matter how you look at it. It's just Laci Green seems to just dislike everything that she just doesn't like, really, isn't it? That's what it boils down to. It's not that she dislikes everything, it's just that everything doesn't apply to her standards, so she hates it, basically. Anyway, people, this has been Charming Man 93. Like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, I'll see you later, and until next time, stay brainless.